trillion cells. Our cells make our tissues, which make our organs and our hormone systems, and they group together. And if any of you are in Dr. Parker's course, she's going over this, so you already kind of have an understanding about this. But that's where I learned it. So then you draw them a cell. Okay, and you're going to explain to them that let's just imagine if they have a health issue, let's say they have liver issues or kidney issues, or let's say they have Alzheimer's, okay, they have brain issues. You can then point it out to them. Now imagine that this is a cell in your brain. Wherever you are genetically susceptible to the aging or oxidation process is where these free radicals are going to bombard first. So for you, because you have Alzheimer's, that means that you have more oxidation in the brain. So here's what's happening. So this is your brain cell, and all of your cells in your body have this one membrane around the outside of these cells. This little membrane here, this is a membrane of fat, also known as a phospholipid bilayer. In a healthy cell, what's going to happen is water is going to come in, oxygen, nutrients, and hormones. Then inside the cell, that's going to be used as energy, and that waste is going to leave the cell. That is a healthy cell. Now what's going to happen is all these free radicals that are in your body, they're going to come in and they're going to start to age just like that apple. They're going to start to age your cell, your cells. Now this cell becomes aged or oxidized, and it's aged fat. So what do you think is going to happen next? Well, I don't think it's going to be healthy. You're right. What's going to happen is this. Water's going to have a hard time going in, oxygen, nutrients, and hormones. Then inside of this cell is going to build up with all this acid waste that's trapped and cannot get out. That is where cancer and disease thrives, in that acidic, unoxygenated environment. This cell, just like every cell in your body, is going to multiply and divide. Imagine that this is your eye cell, right? You're wearing glasses right now. So now he's actually thinking about his eyes. He's like, oh yeah, I am wearing glasses. Okay, so what happens to our eyes when we're around the environment? Right? Can you come out?
Yeah.
So what do you think? Right, so your eye cells are being damaged by the environment.
Yeah, being damaged, yeah.
So here's what's happening in your eyes, okay? So this is what's happening. So your cell in your eye used to be semi-permeable, where things would get in and out. But now because your eyes are more susceptible to the oxidation process, because that's where you're genetically susceptible, those free radicals come in, they're going to age the cell membrane around your eyes. Now that cell isn't healthy anymore. Now this cell, Terry, just like every cell in your body, is going to multiply and divide. It's called mitosis. So this process will happen about every 7 years. You get a whole new body. But it's a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. So this eye cell of yours that was a damaged eye cell, what's going to happen is this is the mother cell, and it's going to split apart, and you are going to create two more identical daughter cells to the first cell. So Terry, if you had one eye cell that was damaged, now how many do you have?
You had 3.
Right, actually it's 2 because the mother cell splits apart, makes 2. So it divides in half. You can't show it from this photo very easily, but okay. Yeah, it's going to divide. Mother cell divides in half and it splits apart, and you make 2 more identical cells.
Got it.
Now Terry, those 2 cells make 2 more and 2 more until a whole new eye is formed. So that's what's happening in your body. That's why you keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So what this water is going to do, those antioxidants that it contains, is going to come into your body, and they're going to donate an antioxidant and neutralize this toxicity around the outside, that plaque that's building up. And it's going to remove that waste off that cell. And now, Terry, what's going to happen again is water's getting back in, oxygen, nutrients, and hormones. And inside of that cell, that waste that was trapped, it's able to freely flow out of the cell again. And when that cell multiplies and divides, you have a healthier and a healthier and a healthier generation of cells. Isn't that powerful? Do you know anyone that has diabetes or an autoimmune issue? Because everybody knows someone with diabetes. Everybody knows someone with autoimmune. Autoimmune is when your body attacks itself, right? So imagine this is a diabetic cell. What's going to happen in that is your body's going to send out insulin because it's a hormone. So that insulin is going to get sent to the cell in the pancreas, where the pancreas is like, yeah, I got that insulin in a healthy cell, right? The insulin's sent and goes into the cell. Now what happens with people that are diabetic, that cell becomes oxidized. And now the body sends out insulin, but insulin can't get into the cell. Then inside of the cell starts building with all this acid waste that's trapped, and it's an unhealthy cell. So now the cell says, give me more insulin because I never received it. And so the glands in your brain say, give me more insulin, and then your body has an imbalance of hormones because your cells are not receiving the insulin. However, when we drink this water, it's going in there and it's pulling the oxidation off the cell, removing that. Now your body sends out insulin, and insulin's able to go into the cell again, where the cell says, I got it. And now the body will balance itself. What about someone with autoimmune? So then you paint the picture of lupus or celiac disease, or maybe they have an autoimmune. What's going to happen there is your body says, I don't know what that is. That cell's not me. I don't know what that is. So it's going to attack that cell and destroy it. So your body's own white blood cells is going to attack that tissue, and it's going to destroy it because it doesn't belong in your body because it's so oxidized. And now your body starts attacking itself. That's what an autoimmune is. So when we drink this water, what's happening is it's pulling the aging off the cell, and the body says, yeah, that's me. I got that. And now you make a healthier and a healthier and a healthier generation of cells. And then you're going to come up with these objections of, well, I eat fruits and vegetables that contain antioxidants. Have you ever heard that one?
Yeah.
So then when you say, I can appreciate where you're coming from. And I didn't realize that there's actually a downfall to antioxidants. The downfall to antioxidants is something that the scientists know, but they don't ever tell us about it. And now they're very curious. There's like, oh my gosh, there's a secret that the scientists know that they don't ever tell us about, and they want to know. Yes, absolutely. Anything you eat, you must digest. Anything that you digest becomes a free radical itself. People don't understand what that means, so you got to break it down to them again. So you're going to say, look, you eat blueberries, right? What's the reason you eat blueberries?
For antioxidants.
Exactly. Imagine right now that you're eating a blueberry. So that blueberry, and I do the hand motion, the blueberry comes into your mouth, into your body, and that blueberry's job is to donate its antioxidant up and neutralize the free radical. So it quenches that toxin. That's its job, is to do that. However, after it's done its job, it has to be digested. It has to go through this process. And then after that, this waste has to leave the cell. Anything that you eat, Terry, has to be digested, and anything you digest leaves a waste or a toxic load behind that still goes on to do more aging in the body, more oxidation. So anything you eat becomes a free radical itself. That's the downfall of the food-based antioxidants. And what's cool about this water is that water is the only thing you do not digest. You absorb it. So this water comes into your body, it finds a free radical, it neutralizes that free radical, quenches it, but it skips this whole process. So it actually stops and helps to reverse the whole cycle of oxidation.
Wow.
And Terry, how much of your body is water?
Over 75%, some parts more than that.
Don't you think it makes sense to drink the best quality of water for your body?
Absolutely.
See how I'm closing you right now? You don't even know it. He's already closed, right? But that's how I get these mini closes all the way through my presentation. So I'm getting these little mini yeses all the way through, and at the end, it's like a no-brainer because they already told me everything that they liked about it. Now, there's one more downfall about antioxidants in the food-based form. Are you ready for this?
Yep, I am.
Good. Vitamin A and vitamin E are fat-soluble vitamins, and they're site-specific. Meaning that if you have too much vitamin A and vitamin E, it'll build up in your body and it creates toxicity and you get really sick from it. And vitamin A and vitamin E are going to go only to certain sites in the body. So the upside to this form of antioxidant is that you can't get too much of it because there's no vitamins attached to it. So you can drink it and drink it and drink it and drink it, and you'll never become toxic in these types of antioxidants because there's no vitamins. Does that make sense?
Yep, it does. Wow.
And it's site specific. So let's say right now that you have Alzheimer's. It's going to go, this type of antioxidant knows where to do its work. And it's going to go into your brain and help remove oxidation from the brain. Unlike vitamin A or vitamin E, which is only site specific. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
And what's really cool is that you have bad free radicals in your body and good free radicals in your body. You actually make free radicals, your cells do. This type of antioxidant, it distinguishes between a good one and a bad one. And it only targets the bad free radicals that damage your cells. And it leaves the good guys alone. When you take this water in your body, the reason it's one of the reasons it's hydrating you is, yes, it does have a lower surface tension, but how it's hydrating you differently is that when the molecule of hydrogen, or H2, comes into your body, when it finds a free radical, it turns it into water. So the more toxic you are, the more hydrated you're going to become, because the more free radicals, the more these antioxidants turn it into water, then you excrete them. That's why people are like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the bathroom right now. We have hydrogen is the antioxidant in the water. It's H2. The benefits is that it finds free radical, turns it into water. Another benefit, it only finds the bad free radicals. Another benefit, you can't become toxic in it. If you had too much, you breathe it out. Another benefit, it's not site specific. It'll go anywhere in your body. Another reason is because it makes your body produce more glutathione. Glutathione is the master of making more antioxidants in the body. That's what glutathione is. It's your body's natural ability to fight free radicals. It's an antioxidant. When you take hydrogen, it helps your body make more glutathione. Glutathione is a precursor to serotonin and dopamine. So those are the feel-good brain chemicals. Have you ever noticed when you put somebody on the water and all of a sudden they're happy? I couldn't figure it out at the beginning. I was like, what's going on? These people, am I changing them or is the water changing them? But you know, over time I realized it's the water. They become healthier because they're making brain chemicals again, you bet.